Marcelo Bielsa is one of the most fascinating managers in the world of football and is currently doing well in the Premier League with Leeds United. After earning promotion from the Championship to the top flight last season, Bielsa's side sit only 10th in the table. But the performances have been far better than the results, and his side have achieved impressive results against the likes of Arsenal, Manchester City and Aston Villa so far this season. Either way, the football that Leeds play can be described as genius, and simultaneously, as one of the readers of the Mastermind site described it, madness. With that, here's a tactical analysis of Marcelo Bielsa's Leeds United and the impressive exploits his team have pulled off so far in the 2020-21 Premier League season. This tactical analysis is brought to you by myself and the Mastermind site. We have the Football Manager Tactic, we have the results, we have all of that good stuff, but before we get stuck in, check this app from OneFootball. I'm proud to announce that the RDF Tactics YouTube channel has teamed up with OneFootball. It's a great footballing app. If you haven't tried it out before, then make sure you do. It's free, so why not? You have nothing to lose, and the link is in the description below. My personal favourite thing about the app is receiving the latest news, transfer rumours, tracking live scores, but also, and of course, getting match stats so I can make videos just like this one. There's a video section as well. It's a pretty cool app where you can watch football highlights, historic moments and even post or pre-match conferences. I'm currently using the app to receive news on my favourite team, as you have the option to do so. It's a really good app to get your daily football updates and football news. So give it a go. It's completely free and I promise you, you won't look back. And remember, the link is in the description below. Leeds have remained with a relatively consistent 11 to the one that got them promoted to the Premier League. The only major differences is the goalkeeper, who has now fully replaced Kiko Casilla, Rodrigo coming into the team as an attacking midfielder instead of Pablo Hernandez, and Robin Koch coming in place for the fantastic Ben White. By making such minimal changes, Leeds have been able to play exactly the same way they did in the Championship, just against better opponents. Calvin Phillips anchors the midfield and screens the back four, allowing Mateusz Klich and Rodrigo surge forward in attack more often. The flanks are occupied by the new signing Rafinha and Manchester City loanee Jack Harrison, who invert regularly and spend a lot of time in central areas. Up top, Patrick Bamford has been one of the Premier League's surprising performers so far, scoring 14 goals in 22 games. Another consistency of Bielsa's Championship side is his reliance on the 4-1-4-1 formation. Bielsa has experimented with the 3-1-4-2, 4-2-3-1, 4-4-1-1 and what was probably more of a 3-4-3 than the 3-3-1-3 that is so commonly associated with Bielsa. But the 4-1-4-1 formation remains his preferred choice. Most frequently, the system will adapt and change over the course of the match, particularly to a 3-3-3-1 in attack and several midfield runners sprinting onto end of crosses from wider areas. But the defensive shape holds true most of the time in a 4-1-4-1, in which the high pressing system that Leeds engage in is excellently balanced with loads of midfield presence. Marcelo Bielsa has a strong desire to play out from the back, and does so in a variety of different ways. This may include one of the fullbacks dropping alongside the central defender to create a diamond with Calvin Phillips, both fullbacks pushing high to allow the centre backs to create a diamond with the goalkeeper and Calvin Phillips, or a third centre back being used to aid in the build up as the fullbacks push high. Luke Ayling is the fullback who frequently engages in line or to the side of the back two, which aids in Leeds' desire to attack or play down the right side. But their most frequent shape is the 2-4-3-1, with one of the attacking midfielders creating a second option for passes and the other staying higher up. Their short passing and ability in possession is highly impressive. Bielsa's men have kept 56 of the possession this season, but due to the higher number of crosses, through balls and long balls they attempt in comparison to those higher than them in possession, they have a lower pass success rate. This can be a positive for Leeds, as they don't just look to play it safe and keep possession for the sake of it. Instead, they are very progressive and look to play to their target man Patrick Bamford to nod down, or the mobile attacking midfielders to carry the ball forward. Their constant passing and moving game and the given goals they create constantly allow space for Leeds to find new players in space, what many call the third man. Highlighting just how progressive they've been with the ball, Leeds have attempted 13.8 shots per game, the fourth most, and created 21.69 shot creating actions per game, the sixth in the league in that category. Leeds United might be the most energetic side in the Premier League. Their press is intense and aggressive, and in possession, their players are always on the move. When they have the ball, their players make a ton of forward, vertical runs as quickly as possible to get the ball up the field in central areas. In defence, they put a ton of hard work to win the ball back and look to force the opposition into longer passes, where the big men at the back can knock it down for a rebuild of possession. Literally, all of their players could do well in the marathon because they never stop running. Rodrigo is someone who is impossible to mark. He will get on the ball at the halfway line, drive it forward, switch play to the wings through a diagonal pass, then keep on sprinting up the field. Jack Harrison is like an Energizer bunny. Patrick Bamford must be one of the fittest strikers in the league. This constant energy provides Leeds with loads of options all over the pitch, using their verticality through longer passes, through balls and combination play, but also utilising their natural width and overloads in wider areas. Dallas and Ayling constantly look to create 2v1 situations with their respective wingers. When Pablo Hernandez plays, this is further compounded on the right side by his presence and natural inclination to operate in wider areas. Calvin Phillips also often looks to get himself on the right side to deliver a cross. So even the defensive midfielder, a position normally known for holding the midfield and staying relatively true to a few key areas on the field, can be found high in attack. In defence, their constant energy has continued in their high pressing system. The Whites have completed the most tackles in the league, 12.8 per game. The high pressing system is therefore both about setting traps and forcing the opposition into longer passes or turnovers, but more importantly, individuals will pressure the player in possession and win the ball back as quickly as possible. The surrounding players cover nearby options out of a desire to go on and win the tackle or force opposition into a bad pass. Out of the top 15 tacklers in the league, Leeds have 3, Ayling 1.6 per game, Dallas 1.47 per game, and Liam Cooper 2.2 per game. This also highlights that although Leeds press from the very front of their attack, the areas that they win the ball back are more frequently in the wider areas or in front of the back four. The fact that they force the opposition into poor longer passes can also be illustrated by the fact that the same 3 players are in the top 15 for interceptions. With their high press and high amount of tackles and interceptions per game, you would expect them to also be quite high in fouls. But Leeds' ability to win the ball back safely and cleanly deserves an immense amount of praise. Only Mateusz Klich has a reputation for being overly rash at times. He's given away the 5th most fouls in the league, 45. Their impressive record of only 10.7 fouls conceded per game illustrates that although Leeds don't shy away from breaking up play, they don't need to rely on it all that often, but due to their possession and success in the tackle. To conclude, with all of their fascinating tactics, it could be argued that Leeds have underperformed this season. I genuinely believe Leeds' principles of play are working and that everything they do to win football matches will soon pay greater dividends. They need to clean up in front of goal and not rely so heavily on Patrick Bamford to score, but Bielsa has his team playing in such a fantastic way, with loads of shots and chances created, that it really should not be too great of an issue. Leeds could really take off in the next Premier League season and stumble upon something far greater. For now, they sit 10th in the Premier League. But that wraps up the tactical analysis brought to you by myself and the mastermind. We're now going to go into Football Manager to check out the recreation, the results, the training schedules before ending the video. So here we are, RDF's Marcelo Bielsa's 4-1-4-1 recreation. It's a 4-1-4-1 of course, it's highly aggressive and fairly attacking, also fairly successful. So in goal we do have the sweeper keeper on the defend duty, he has no instructions. For left back we have a wing back on the support duty, he has crossed more often. At right back we have the full back on the support duty, which will be Luke Ayling, mainly helping the defence with their build up phases. In central defence we have 2 ball playing defenders, they are instructed to pass it shorter. Due to our aggressive mentality, the ball playing defender also takes more risk, but I didn't want them to take the risk too often, which is why I got them pass it shorter to help them retain possession just a little bit better. In defensive midfield we have a deep line playmaker on the support duty. At first I did try a register, it did very well, but then again against the bigger sides it was just too easy for them to carve us open. So I did stick with the deep line playmaker. Universally it just worked very well. In central midfield, we have a midfield partnership of a Mazzala on the support duty, which would be the Rodrigo, someone that can drive the ball forward and get further forward, alongside the box-to-box midfielder who will also get further forward, but maybe offers a little less in the final third. On the flanks, we have two inverted wingers. They also have identical instructions, which is to shoot less often and roam from position. Now, if you notice, our midfield line of four all have roam from position, and this should help us find better options when it comes to playing vertical passes. They are all going to roam around looking for pockets to be effective and also collect the ball or be a passing option. Up top, finally, we do have a false nine. Now, I did actually start with a complete forward. I played with the complete forward from the beginning of the season to January, but then the goals started drying up, especially for Bamford, and what ended up happening is that we started to get 33 shots a game, 20 on target, but only score 1. We wasn't really creating good scoring chances. With the complete forward, there was just a lot of shots, but with the false nine, I noticed that the XG actually went up a little bit, so I'm guessing the false nine helped create more space and also helped create better scoring chances. But he's instructed to tackle harder and mark tighter, trying to get him to act similar to a pressing forward. So for the team instructions, the mentality is on positive. The attacking width is set to fairly narrow. For the approach play, we are going to be passing it into space. That will also help with increasing our tempo. We got overlap on the left and underlap on the right. I noticed that Luke Ayling, sometimes you might see him cut inside. It's not all the time you're going to see him on the outside or overlap. You might also see him underlap, and he also does pop off a few shots in real life as well. We are going to be playing out from the defence. The passing directness is on shorter, with the tempo is on higher. The tempo doesn't need to be on much higher because, again, we do also have passing to space. We don't want to turn over possession just far too easily. In the final third, we have whipped crosses, work the ball into the box, and for the creative freedom, we are using Be More Expressive. In transition, when the possession has been lost and when possession has been won, literally there's no other options we could have used but these two. Counter press and counter when the possession has been won. When the goalkeeper is in possession, he will look to distribute it to the playmaker, and by doing so, he is going to take short kicks. And for out of possession, the defensive shape, we are using the offside trap with a higher line of engagement and much higher defense line. For the pressing intensity, of course, we are using the extremely urgent pressing intensity alongside prevent the short goalkeeper distribution. That there wraps up the tactic. We are now going to check the results. How well did this high pressing tactic do in the Premier League? So we can see in the Premier League we did finish third. Highly impressive. We did actually have joint points with Manchester United as well, but we played 38, we won 23, we drew 9 and lost 6. Those 6 losses came against Southampton away, Liverpool away, Manchester United at home, Sheffield United away, Chelsea at home and Aston Villa away. In the FA Cup, we got knocked out in the quarter-final, and in the Carabao Cup, we got knocked out in the quarter-final by the same team, funny enough. In the Premier League, we managed to score 71 goals and only conceded 35 goals. For the team statistics, as we saw already, for the goals, Leeds United scored 71 goals. Points per game, we had the second most points per game, joint with Manchester United, of course. Most shots for, we came in 5th. Fewest shots against, we came in 3rd. For the best pass completion, we had an 87% pass completion. Most possession, we had 52% of the ball, so we came in 8th. I would have liked a little bit higher, but then again, with pass the ball into space and a higher tempo, that was a little bit difficult to achieve. For most tackles won, we didn't come in the top 8, which is kind of disappointing. For the most dribbles though, we came up top with 164. Most clean sheets, we had 15, and the fewest conceded, we came in 4th with 35. For the player stats, we can see that Patrick Bamford scored 19 goals, which is highly impressive. He also came in 2nd with the expected goals per 90. For the most assists, Rafinha came in 3rd as well with 14 assists. Most player of the match awards, Rafinha coming in 2nd. And most key passes, Rafinha again coming in 3rd. But we're now going to check our team report, our attacking efficiency. We were clinical, but just about. Chelsea were really the only clinical side in the league, so there's not really too much to compare us against when it comes to the clinical sides. But nonetheless, we were aggressive in our approach and we ended up being clinical. For our defensive efficiency, we were quiet but bang in the middle between impenetrable and leaky. So the opposition had a conversion rate of 12% against us, which isn't too great, but again, it's not the worst. Given that we had a very high defence line, this could still be seen as a positive. But we're now going to see who were the top goal scorers for Leeds and who were the highest assists. So the top goal scorers for Leeds was of course Patrick Bamford. He got 21 in 39. Rafinha managed to get 13 in 37, which is impressive, and Jack Harrison also with an impressive 12 goals in 34 starts. For the highest assist, Rafinha with 18 assists in all competitions. Rafinha no doubt the best player for Leeds this season. And Jack Harrison, who could be the second best player? Jack Harrison also had a very good season. He managed to get 13 assists in 34 games. The best performance for Leeds throughout the whole season was Rafinha, Patrick Bamford, Robin Koch, Liam Cooper, Jack Harrison, Pablo Hernandez when he played his 4 games. Luke Ayling as well had a very good season with Leeds. But now we're going to check the training schedules behind this absolute murderball. So for the training, when there's one match during the week, I did come with a different approach, slightly different. On the Monday, we do have endurance, and I never ever use any physical training sessions during the season. But this is Leeds, this is Murderball, you have to use some sort of physical session during the week. So on the Monday, it's endurance training, defending, engage, and then recovery. Tuesday, we're going to start off with a rest because we have to. Then it's transitional press and team bonding. On the Wednesday, transition press again, and then the match practice. Thursday, attack and movement, defending, engage, attack and direct. Friday, teamwork. Saturday is the match. Sunday, recovery and match review. When there's 2 matches during the week, on the Monday, transitional press, attack and movement, and team bonding. Tuesday, teamwork before the match on the Wednesday. Thursday, recovery and match review. Friday, teamwork. On Saturday is the match again before Sunday's review and match recovery. That there, ladies and gentlemen, and unfortunately wraps up this video and tactical analysis brought to you by myself and the mastermind. My name is RDF. If you are enjoying this type of content, don't forget, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and also if you have any recommendations, to leave those in the comments. I have enjoyed recording this video for you guys. Stay safe, peace out, and I'll speak to you soon.